All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful Turkish short story by Mehmet Ali Güner. It's called The Shepherd Who Feared the Wolf, and it's one of those stories that really sticks with you, all about ambition, survival, and the gut-wrenching price you might pay to escape your own life. So let's picture the scene. The story kicks off in a place that's pretty much defined by what it doesn't have. We're talking about a forgotten little village in Anatolia. The only time the state even remembers it exists is when they show up to collect young men for the army, or to yell at the locals. It's a world just trapped in this endless loop of poverty, where all the young people dream of is leaving, and the old are just left behind. And right in the middle of all this is our protagonist, Ayla. She's one of 6 kids in a family that's, fighting for every scrap of food. Survival isn't just a goal, it's the only thing on the menu, day in and day out. You see, poverty has already ripped her family apart. Her 2 older brothers managed to escape to Germany as workers, and they just never came back. One of her sisters got married off to a family with a bit more money, and another, she just vanished into the city of Istanbul. They never heard from her again. So that just leaves Ayla, her parents, and her younger sister Husnia, who has a disability. And this is where we get to the real heart of the conflict in the story. In a world where all that matters is hard labor, just to eat, Ayla has this artistic spirit. And to her family, that's not a gift. It's a liability, a total waste. She literally gets punished for drawing on notebook paper because, that's a luxury they just can't afford. But at night, she secretly watches these fancy art galleries on their tiny little TV. And she dreams of being one of those people, someone whose work is actually celebrated. The thing is, Ayla is physically withering away from the exhaustion and hunger of working in the fields. Her parents are terrified she's going to die, so they make this absolutely desperate choice. She's going to become the shepherdess. Now, this isn't some great opportunity. It's a grim calculation they've made just to keep her alive, even though the whole village is whispering about the shame of a young girl being all alone out in the mountains. And it's out there, in those mountains, that everything is about to change. All alone, with only her dogs to protect her, Ayla's life is about to get violently rerouted by the one thing she's always been terrified of. I mean, you can just feel the absolute terror of this moment. Imagine it. A wolf pack attacks. Her dogs, her only protectors, fight them off, and then just silence. She finds them dead. She's totally alone, and then a wolf appears right in front of her. Her only sliver of hope is the rare sound of a train passing by in the distance. So she runs, she hides, and then, in one split second, she makes this insane, desperate leap onto a moving train wagon, with no idea where it's going. So Ayla makes it to the city, to Ankara. She arrives with literally nothing but a bag of apples she stole to survive and the clothes on her back. She's like a ghost in this massive, glittering world she doesn't understand at all. And this is her lifeline. This one chance encounter. As she's wandering the city completely lost, she stumbles on a man painting on the street. And instead of seeing some dirty, scared runaway, he sees the look in her eyes. He sees a fellow artist. For the first time in her entire life, someone doesn't punish her for her passion. No, they hand her a brush and say, "Here, you try." You won't believe what happens next. The painter takes her very first oil painting, the first she's ever made, and puts it up for sale right next to his own work. And a total stranger buys it. She earns 20 lira. I mean, that's more money than she has ever held in her hands in her whole life. And she earned it doing the one thing everyone told her was completely worthless. And this right here, this is the crucial turning point. It's a total reversal. The city is terrifying, sure, and she's all alone, but it offers her something the village never, ever could: a future. Back home, her art was a sin, a waste. Here, it's something people will pay for. In the village, her future was set in stone by poverty. Here, for the very first time, it feels like anything could happen. This painter, he becomes so much more than a kind stranger. He's her mentor. He gives her a room to stay in when every single inn turns her away because she has no ID. He somehow gets her into an art course, and he helps her navigate this crazy new world. He guides her from just surviving day to day to actually discovering who she is. He helps her build a new life, completely from scratch. Okay, so let's fast forward a few years. Ayla's dream, the one she used to hide in notebooks out of shame, is now her job. It's her life. And an art exhibition in Istanbul is about to change everything all over again. So at this exhibition, her work is an absolute sensation. It sells for a life-changing, unimaginable amount of money. And just like that, she is living the glamorous life she used to watch on that tiny TV screen back in her village. She's a success. She has arrived. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? Right in the middle of all her success, standing in this brand new, luxurious world she built, this profound emptiness just starts to grow inside her. She looks out at all the glittering city lights and realizes that what she truly, deeply wants, it isn't here. It's back in that forgotten village with the family she had to leave behind. She decides she's going home. But first, she paints one last masterpiece, and this one is a gift for her family. And what does she paint? A tribute to the exact moment that started her entire journey. A small, terrified shepherd girl running towards the very wolves that made her run away in the first place. And so we get to the final, absolutely heartbreaking act of this story. She gets on a train, but this time, she's not some scared little girl hiding in a dark wagon. No, she's a proud, successful daughter, finally coming home, gift in hand. But the home she spent all those years dreaming of, it's just gone. Her return isn't a celebration. It's just a wave of devastating news about everything she lost while she was gone. Her sister, Husnia, passed away. Her father died just 3 months ago. And all that's left is her mother, all alone in that silent, empty house. Completely and utterly broken, she takes her painting, that symbol of all her success, the gift she was so proud to bring home, and she walks to the very same hill where her dogs died, where she first saw that wolf. She just sets the painting down on the ground, and she collapses, her grief-stricken cries the only sound in those vast, silent mountains. And that's really the central tragedy of her story, isn't it? The wolf she was so afraid of was the thing that ultimately set her free. It led her straight to the life she always dreamed of. But in escaping her fate, she lost the very family she wanted to save in the first place. And it just leaves us wondering about the true price of ambition, and whether her escape was a rescue, or maybe just another kind of curse.